Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that things have gotten quite tense between Adam Newman, Sally Spectra, Chelsea Lawson, and Billy Abbott since Chatham's one-nighter in Baltimore was revealed. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Allie's second chance. Y&R spoilers remind fans that Adam and Sally lost a baby about a year ago, and the entire situation bonded the couple. Could Adam be the father? Sally was devastated when she found out that baby Ava didn't live through the ordeal of her medical emergency, and it took her a long while to move on with her life. With that being said, considering the recent one-night stand that was revealed, and Sally moving out of Adam's apartment, how would she feel if she found out she was expecting? It would certainly be bittersweet. But could the pregnancy bond the couple toward another reunion? Things could get complicated if Chelsea found out she was pregnant, too. Y&R spoilers. What if both babies were Adam Newman's? Sally would know the baby she is carrying is Adam's. However, there would be massive question marks if Chelsea ended up pregnant. While a DNA test could be launched, there would still be weeks of confusion, anxiety, and nervousness on Chelsea's part, especially if Sally's pregnancy was announced before hers. Chelsea doesn't want to see Adam and Sally break up. In fact, she was pulling for Adam when the two ladies ran into each other earlier this week. Chelsea might be all around apprehensive to reveal her news, even if there was a chance that Billy was the father. She may desperately try to conceal her baby announcement and even consider terminating the pregnancy. Still, would she be able to go through with that? If Chelsea did go through with a DNA test, would she try to hide the results if Adam was the father of her child? Potentially lie about it or switch things up to pretend Billy was the dad? What do you think would happen if both Chelsea and Sally found out they were pregnant? Join the conversation in the comments section. Catch Y&R on CBS Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and check this site out regularly for the best Young and the Restless news and spoilers. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tangled Candy. It's me, Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Nick and Mariah devise a plan to save Sharon from her delusions, while Phyllis prepares to help Billy succeed in his business venture with Abbott Chancellor. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, September 25, suggest a race against time as Nick and Mariah devise a plan to save Sharon. But will they implement it in time? Hurry up and wait. It took Nick and Mariah a while to figure out that they believed that Sharon was in crisis. They tried talking to her, giving her space, calling out her lies, and going along with her delusions. Nothing worked. Finally, Nick and Mariah conclude that they need to step in and do something because Sharon cannot help herself. But considering the time that passed between their starting to suspect something was wrong and their resolve to do something about it, Sharon may have slipped through their grasp for good. Boiling point. For all that they think they know, Nick and Mariah don't even know that Sharon has been talking to dead and bloody Cameron for weeks. And dead Cameron doesn't have Sharon's best interests at heart. Dead Cameron, even though he knows he isn't real, but just a manifestation of Sharon's darkest desires, has never stopped reminding Sharon that she never got revenge for Cassie's death, and that the person responsible for it, Daniel, is still walking around free and alive. Daniel is happy with Heather, and he has a daughter, Lucy. That's the life Cassie should have had. Daniel is the one who should be dead. Fantasy dead Cassie told Sharon as much, and now Sharon is ready to act on it. Speaking of crazy, obsessive people, Phyllis has told Billy that she will do whatever it takes to help him get into their company, Abbott Chancellor. Phyllis knows that Billy doesn't have what it takes to succeed. Good thing Phyllis does, and it's a good thing Phyllis is about to do it. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor Newman has given Cole Howard plenty of warnings to stay away from Victoria Newman, but he's just not getting it. No matter how many times Victor tries to put his foot down, Cole keeps standing up to him and isn't afraid of his intimidation tactics. Of course, everyone knows Victor is a man who often follows through on his threats. Cole should understand what Victor is capable of since he caught him holding Jordan in a jail cell down in the cellar. In fact, that discovery is what started this mess since Cole gave Michael Baldwin updates on Victor's secret. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor Newman has given Cole Howard plenty of warnings to stay away from Victoria Newman, but he's just not getting it. No matter how many times Victor tries to put his foot down, Cole keeps standing up to him and isn't afraid of his intimidation tactics. Of course, everyone knows Victor is a man who often follows through on his threats. Cole should understand what Victor is capable of since he caught him holding Jordan in a jail cell down in the cellar. In fact, that discovery is what started this mess since Cole gave Michael Baldwin updates on Victor's secret. The Young and the Restless spoilers and rumors tease Nick Newman's shocking encounter with Sharon Newman's doctor could reveal some dark truths. Nick may uncover shocking details that will heighten his anxiety regarding his excess for Sharon. She is undoubtedly providing her loved ones with plenty of reasons to be concerned. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon Case has been dealing with serious symptoms. For several weeks, she has been grappling with a mental health crisis that seems to intensify with each passing day. First, she envisioned reconciling with Nick and hallucinated Cassie Newman. However, her thoughts have now spiraled into full conversations with the deceased Cameron Kirsten, who is urging her to succumb to her darkest urges. With Cameron's influence clouding her judgment, Sharon has found herself lashing out at Daniel Romalotti, Lucy Romalotti, and Phyllis Summers. She holds Daniel responsible for Cassie's death, Lucy for Fate's car accident, and Phyllis for the collapse of her marriage to Nick. Sharon's increasingly hostile behavior has been noticed, and Nick, Faith, and Mariah find themselves at a loss, desperately trying to figure out how to support Sharon in this situation. Y&R spoilers. Sharon Case is becoming dangerous. Viewers are well aware that Sharon's loved ones need to take action quickly, as she seems to be contemplating the unthinkable, taking Daniel's life. While it's uncertain if she'll actually go through with it during the week of September 23, the weekly preview suggests she makes a choice that leads to deep regret. Overwhelmed with emotion, she struggles to find a way to undo her actions. After having a nightmare of Daniel in distress, she confides in Kirsten, who encourages her to pursue her dreams. Later, we see Sharon outside, in tears, grappling with the reality of her situation and questioning how it all spiraled out of control. This turmoil follows a moment when Nick, Faith, and Mariah inform Daniel that Sharon has seemingly vanished. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick Newman spoke about talking to Sharon Case's doctor. Before we dive into next week's events, let's take a moment to reflect on a significant moment from the episode that aired on September 20. In this episode, Nick engages in a conversation with Victor, Victoria, and Nikki Newman about his worries concerning Sharon. He suggests the possibility of reaching out to her doctor to get an update on her condition. Initially, Nick's family is skeptical, concerned that he might hit a dead end since doctors typically don't share patient information with anyone but the patient. However, as they learn more about Sharon's troubling behavior, they ultimately decide to support Nick's initiative. Y&R spoilers. Nick Newman is in for a shock. Imagine if Nick talks to Sharon's doctor. For some time now, we've suspected that someone has been tampering with Sharon's bipolar medication in an attempt to undermine her. Given that she had been stable on her medication for years, it seemed suspicious when her doctor suddenly proposed a change. This led us to consider the possibility that Sharon is being targeted by someone with a vendetta against her. What if Nick approaches the doctor to discuss Sharon's recent changes in behavior, only to notice that the doctor is acting oddly or even appears to be hiding something? If that's the case, will Nick dig deeper and uncover that the doctor has been bribed by someone to sabotage Sharon's mental health for malicious purposes? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Perhaps Sharon Case hasn't seen her doctor at all. It's easy to envision a scenario where a long-lost family member or former lover of Kirsten arrives in Genoa City, intent on avenging Cameron's death by targeting Sharon. Taking this idea a step further, imagine that this individual is outraged over Cameron's decision to bequeath his company to Sharon in his will, leading them on a mission to reclaim what they believe is rightfully theirs. Now let's consider a different angle. What if the doctor is indeed credible and had valid reasons for modifying Sharon's medications? However, after picking up on Nick's concerns regarding Sharon's well-being, the doctor breaches confidentiality and reveals to Nick that he hasn't seen Sharon in some time, despite her assurances. This revelation could lead the doctor to express worries that Sharon might pose a risk to herself or others, prompting Nick to rush to her side. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, September 24 tease that Sharon Newman has a nightmare while bunking down in her no-tell motel. The blonde goes to sleep and has a dream with a bad outcome for Daniel Romalotti. Sharon's dream is full of blood and gore, but when she awakes terrified, Ghost Cameron Kirsten soothes her fevered mind, saying that their plan will work. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sharon has a nightmare. Cameron encourages Sharon to focus on the revenge scheme. What could go wrong? There is still a tiny voice inside of her that knows this is wrong. But Cameron expertly manipulates her desire to reconnect with Cassie Newman and live happily ever after with Nick Newman. Spoilers. What happens next in Genoa City, Wisconsin? Elsewhere, on Tuesday's Y&R episode, Nick takes action to save Sharon, who has gone off of the grid. Being alone in her fragile mental state is no bueno, but can Nick find her before disaster strikes? Nick gets busy by grilling Maria Copeland and having Daniel reveal everything about his last conversation with Sharon, because Daniel was the last person to see her before she went MIA. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Daniel holds the key. Daniel also talks to Heather Stevens about leaving Genoa City for someplace that doesn't hold so many sad memories. Heather wants to get away from Sharon's harassment of their daughter, Lucy Romalotti, and she's also tired of being unemployed. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Will Sharon harm Daniel? That's because Sharon takes drastic action to get closure over the death of Cassie. Sharon unleashes some major chaos with Cameron egging her on. Tell us Y&R fans, how far do you think that Sharon will go to even the scales? Will she harm Daniel or Lucy? Young and the Restless spoilers hint now that Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman are single. Their son Connor Newman seems hopeful that his parents could reunite. During a scene this week, Connor shared a meal with his dad at the GCAC. The boy hinted that while he was sad that his mom broke up with Billy Abbott and Adam broke up with Sally Spectra, he thought that what his parents had together was far more special. Could the boy go to extreme measures to ensure Chelsea and Adam find their back to each other? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Connor Newman can sense something is up. Y&R spoilers remind fans that Connor doesn't know about Chatham's one-night stand in Baltimore, but he knows something isn't right. He's also noticed just how better his parents have been getting along since his obsessive-compulsive disorder diagnosis and his stint at the treatment center. He was quick to make this observation while the three were having some playtime at the park recently. In fact, by mentioning their newfound bond, the beans ended up getting spilled about their one-nighter as Sally and Billy overheard a conversation between the parents, who were concerned about Connor's statement. After all, if he could see their closeness, would someone else pick up on it? Spoilers. Connor Newman is in a good place. Connor is in a good place with his OCD right now. The condition will never go away. However, he's learned coping mechanisms and strategies to deal with flare-ups or triggers. As he saw how close his parents came together during his difficult time, could he fake regression? He may figure that in doing so, he could also help solidify their relationship. Advertisement. Connor is a good kid, but like many kids whose parents are divorced, he'd love to see his mom and dad back together. Could he cross a line to ensure this happens? Could Connor manipulate his OCD condition to trigger a Chatham reunion? Share your thoughts in the comments. Scene Dominic completes 5 years as Nate Hastings. The Young and the Restless spoilers spill that fans are going gaga while anticipating the return of Amy Lewis. It's a character from the 80s originally brought to life by Stephanie E. Williams. In an exciting recast, Valerie Pettiford will now portray Amy. However, the CBS soap has been unusually secretive about the details surrounding her comeback. Is Amy harboring a major secret that's about to be revealed? Y&R tease a buried family bombshell. The Young and the Restless fans who have been watching it for decades are literally over the moon. Let's fill you in for those who don't know much about Amy's Y&R history. The character played a key role in Nathan Hastings Sr.'s life. The two shared a romantic relationship. She even taught him how to read and write. Sadly, their relationship eventually hit a roadblock when Amy left town. But what if she left with more than just memories? In addition, word on the street is that Amy might have secretly given birth to Nathan's child off-screen. Now, she might return to Genoa City after ages to drop that bombshell, which will take everyone by surprise. Meanwhile, Nathan died long ago, so who will Amy return to? If she did have Nathan's child, the lady might return to finally reveal the truth to Nate Hastings. Could Nate have a half-brother he never knew existed? This twist could introduce a brand new character to the canvas, leaving endless possibilities ahead. Furthermore, one theory is that this half-brother could become Lily Winter's love interest. It's quite possible because Lily and Nate are cousins on their mother's side. So there would be no family connection to Nate's half-brother. Interestingly, there may already be a clue about this new character. In July, Soap Hub reported that Y&R put out a casting call. They were hunting for a tall, handsome black male in his early to mid-40s on a contract basis. Was this casting call for Nate's half-brother? If so, Amy's return could set the stage for a massive family reveal. Moreover, if Nate does indeed have a secret sibling, it could cause a huge upheaval in his life. Amy's return this October will indeed bring in plenty of twists and turns. Victor and Nikki Newman, the iconic duo from The Young and the Restless, have been a staple for decades. Played by Eric Braeden and Melody Thomas Scott, this super couple has enchanted viewers with their dramatic love story. After all, the duo has shared everything from fiery romances to intense power struggles. But what happens when these two beloved characters step back? Is a new power couple emerging on Y&R? Victor and Nikki Newman's history on The Young and the Restless is rich with drama. Nikki, who started as a stripper, ended up entering Victor's world of high society. Despite countless breakups, marriages to others, and betrayals, Victor and Nikki always found their way back to each other. Their epic love saga is woven into the very fabric of Y&R. Unfortunately, Eric is now 83 and dealing with health concerns, and Melody is 68. Their concerning age must not be overlooked. A recent Reddit post raised an interesting question. Who could possibly replace Victor and Nikki as the next power couple? The post suggested that neither Nick nor Victoria seems strong enough to fill Victor's shoes. Moreover, Claire might be a good candidate to take over for Nikki, but replacing Victor could be impossible. After all, Victor's powerful presence is practically irreplaceable, and his exit could send the show into a tailspin. Interestingly, other Redditors have been buzzing with suggestions. One user thinks Adam and Sally could have had a shot at being the next great couple. However, they pointed out that Victoria won't let Adam or Nick run Newman. It will be Nikki, Victoria, and Claire. I think that's why they are moving Claire back to Newman, they added. Another commented, Lauren and Michael. These two are great together and do not get enough screen time. Additionally, a third user wrote, Tucker and Ashley. Please. We get it's hard to imagine the show without Victor calling the shots and Nikki at his side. But the show must go on, right? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a shocking twist. Faith stood frozen in the hallway, her heart racing. She had overheard something unimaginable. Her own mother, Sharon, was planning to kill Lucy. The chilling words echoed in her mind as fear washed over her. How had Sharon, once the mother she idolized, become so dangerous? Faith had tried reaching out to understand Sharon's erratic behavior, but her mother had pushed her away. Now, after hearing this, Faith knew she had to act fast. With her hands shaking, Faith pulled out her phone and called Lucy. Lucy, it's me, she whispered. We need to get out of here. My mom, she's planning to hurt you. Are you sure, Faith? This sounds insane, Lucy replied. I overheard her, Lucy. We need to run. I'll come pick you up. Faith knew time was running out. Her only option was to grab Nick's car keys from the kitchen counter. Though she had never driven on the highway, she had no choice. With her heart pounding, Faith quietly left the house and sped through the rainy streets toward Lucy's. When she arrived, Lucy was waiting by the curb, pale and anxious. Are you sure this is the only way? Lucy asked as she climbed into the car. We don't have a choice, Faith replied. We need to get as far away as possible. As they hit the highway, the rain intensified, turning the road slick and dangerous. Faith, inexperienced behind the wheel, struggled to keep control. Suddenly, a flash of lightning startled her, and she accidentally pressed too hard on the gas. The car skidded off the road, crashing into a guardrail. For a moment, both girls sat in stunned silence, the sound of rain pounding on the wreckage. Faith groaned, pain shooting through her body, but when she turned to Lucy, she was relieved to see her friend appeared mostly unharmed. Are you okay? Faith asked. Lucy nodded weakly. What do we do now? Faith didn't know. They were stranded, the car was damaged, and all she could think about was how it had come to this. Sharon's actions, from Cassie's death to now, had led to disaster after disaster. The unresolved guilt had twisted her mother into something unrecognizable. Shaking, Faith dialed Nick's number. Dad, we had an accident. We're okay, but we need help. Nick's voice was full of worry. Where are you? Are you hurt? We're on the highway, outside the city. Please hurry, Faith replied, her voice cracking. As they waited for help, Faith realized that Sharon's actions had brought them to this moment. Her mother had become a danger to everyone, and Faith knew it was time to confront her. This wasn't just an accident. It was part of a much bigger cycle of destruction caused by Sharon. With sirens approaching, Faith braced herself. This time, she wouldn't run. She would face the truth about her mother, no matter how painful it was. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, September 24, show Nick realizing he's reached the end of his rope dealing with Sharon his way, and probably needs to go full Newman if he's going to save his ex-wife. I am a Newman, like my father before me. Nick tried to give Sharon the benefit of the doubt. He tried to believe her and to believe that she could take care of her spiraling mental issues on her own. But now he's decided that enough was enough. Nick needs to step in and take control. Victor said so. It is, after all, what Victor would do. So Nick gets in touch with his inner Victor and takes control of Sharon's life for her own good. Dream on. Whether Sharon is asleep or awake, Cameron is there. On the other hand, she is only making out with Nick or reuniting with a grown-up, veterinarian professional athlete dating Cassie while sleeping. Is it any wonder that Sharon would prefer to withdraw to that state full-time? But is she putting her life in danger? And how confident can she be that all her dreams will remain good? Hitting the road. The only good thing that has happened to Daniel and Heather since they returned to Genoa City was that they worked out their differences and reunited. But Genoa City has not been good for Lucy. She's lied, she's sneaked out, and she nearly got herself, and Faith, killed. Heather might not be wrong. They need a fresh start. What is keeping them in town anyway? Is Heather's dad, Paul, even living there anymore? We know that Daniel's dad, Danny, is on the road. So why not take off for greener pastures? They've burned almost all of their bridges here. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the park, Audra thanks Sally for getting her out of the office. It's a beautiful day. Sally would much rather have drinks. Audra asks if everything's oak. Sally says not really. Audra guesses this is about Adam. Sally can't believe she trusted him and wishes she could stop any and all feelings for him. Audra tells her Adam doesn't deserve one thing from her. She recaps that the son of a bitch cheated on her and lied about it. This isn't the first time he's shown you who he is. You need to cut him out of your heart for good, Sally. Sally's not sure how to do that, especially after Ava. Audra tells her she needs to get tough and fake it until it becomes true. Sally's not sure she can. She doesn't want to shut down her feelings. She can't believe it's suddenly over. She worries if she shuts down her feelings, she'll never be able to fall in love again. Audra thinks that would be a blessing. The ability not to care is the perfect revenge against the people who mistreated her and tried to take advantage of her heart. Sally asks, but isn't revenge just another way of caring? In society, Billy accuses Adam of harassing Chelsea and demands to know what he said to her. Adam tells him he forfeited his role as protector-in-chief when he turned his back on her. Billy grabs Adam's arm as he turns away, and Adam spins back and punches him in the face. Billy falls backward over a table as Phyllis exclaims, "Oh no, Billy." When Billy goes back at Adam, Phyllis yells, "Billy, stop." He lunges at Adam, who knows he's been wanting to take a swing at him. Phyllis warns it's not worth it. Billy tells Adam he's not worth it and shoves him away. Phyllis follows Billy out the door. At the club, Cole thanks Victoria for meeting him and hopes she has time for a bite. He senses she's troubled about something. Victoria just worries that she's taking advantage of him. She always has something to sort out. Cole urges her to lean on him. "Talk to me." Victoria sighs. It's her family that has her upset, of course. Cole asks Victoria what her dad is up to now. She says he's still planning to make a move against Billy, even though she told him how she feels about it. He's making it plain to his grandchildren how much he dislikes their father. Cole says Victor can be stubborn. Victoria shares that she suggested a compromise, but it was too easy and bloodless for him. Cole asks if she's going to tell Billy and break ranks with her dad. Cole thinks going up against Victor is daunting and could affect more people than just her. Victoria can't handle the idea of Johnny and Katie seeing their father humiliated by their grandfather in a public takedown. Cole thinks there's only one thing she can do. Victoria worries that Billy will do something reckless and make things worse. Cole feels a mother's instincts are never wrong. Victoria can't tell Billy that all of this is to get Chancellor for her mother, but she has to convince him to protect himself. Cole is ready to help any way he can. Victoria doubts he can protect her from her father's wrath. He'll go ballistic. Cole isn't intimidated at all. He just needs to stand his ground no matter what. They've both been there. What's one more time? Victoria thanks Cole for helping her decide to do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. She's lucky to have him back in her life. She wonders if he'll get bored there. Cole thought he was clear. He's there now with her and Claire. He's missed out on too many years with her and his daughter. Victoria still isn't convinced. Cole laughs about how she must have pictured his life overseas. It was just a job and years of striving for something that never came to fruition. The world he has now, he'd never imagined in a million years. He doesn't think he could live without it. At Abbott Chancellor, Billy tells Phyllis part of him wishes she'd have butt out so he could do to Adam what he wanted to. He would have put him through the window. Phyllis says he would have regretted it. She warns he cannot push Adam, he's so vindictive. Billy's not scared of Adam. Phyllis reminds him he's got enough issues. She's supposed to protect him from enemy fire. She wants to put ice on his face. Billy admits it hurts a bit. Phyllis brings Billy an ice pack and questions him, upsetting Adam to a point of violence. This is a sign that his feelings for Chelsea are stronger than he's admitting. Billy says it's about Adam, but Phyllis thinks he can forgive Chelsea. He's just too stubborn. Billy insists she's wrong. Chelsea hurt him deeply by sleeping with a man he deeply despises. Maybe one day he'll get over it, but not today. Phyllis knows situations like this can rip you apart inside. She's been there. Billy says even she didn't sleep with his worst enemy. He clarifies that the two of them are ancient history. Phyllis thinks they're wasting their time talking about Adam. They should talk about their next step. Billy says Lily obviously leaked his deal to someone with deep pockets. It could be Devon. Phyllis is skeptical. Billy admits Victor is more likely the culprit. He wants to outbid him. At Crimson Lights, Summer stops Chelsea and says she looks like she's on the run from something. Chelsea tells Summer she's just running from her own feelings. Summer asks, "Is it Connor?" Chelsea says her son is doing great. It's just... Summer tells Chelsea that she can confide in her. She'll keep it between them or completely forget anything she tells her. Chelsea's not keen to unload on her boss, but Summer coaxes her. Chelsea says her life has been one stupid mistake after the next. Summer asks what happened. Chelsea exhales, "Billy and I broke up, and it's all my fault." They sit, and Chelsea tells Summer she really screwed up. She thought Billy might be able to get past it at first. He took the blame with Connor. Summer thinks that says something about how he still feels about her. Chelsea says he made it clear it's over. Summer can't believe he wouldn't keep the door open for a reconciliation. Just then, Adam walks in. Chelsea grimaces. Summer asks if Adam's involved in what's going on with her and Billy. Adam interrupts and says he came to check on Connor, but would like a few minutes with Chelsea first. Victoria arrives at Abbott Chancellor and questions Billy's face. He tells her Adam's fists were flying around and his face got in the way. Phyllis pipes up and tells Victoria she tried to de-escalate the situation. Victoria learns that Phyllis works there and is unimpressed. Once the redhead trots off to her office, Victoria tells her ex she's there about business. She has a proposition for him that she hopes might lead to a peacekeeping mission. Victoria tells Billy her father is about to make a move against Abbott Chancellor. Billy isn't concerned. Victoria is worried about the effect of a public battle on the kids. Billy asks if he should stand down. He'll show the kids that he'll fight for what he loves. Victoria has an alternate solution. It's a solid, generous offer to buy Chancellor from him, with a huge payout. Billy asks why he'd want to sell an established company to launch a startup. He asks if she's working with Victor to sabotage the deal he's about to put through. What makes her think that he'll lose to her father? At Crimson Lights, Summer leaves Adam and Chelsea to it. Chelsea asks Adam what he wants to talk about. She doesn't want to hear more about what he said at Society. Adam wants to apologize. She hisses, "Enough already." She informs him this is not happening and tells him to let it go before flouncing out the door. In the park, Audra tells Sally she's right. Revenge is a way of caring. Caring that the world knows you're not to be messed with. Sally concedes it makes a bold statement. Audra says revenge can be fun too. It gave her so much joy to steal Tucker's company. She hopes he learned his lesson. Audra fumes that Kyle Abbott is next. Sally deduces that their partnership is not going well. Audra says he's actively trying to sabotage her. Sally asks, "What is your next move?" Audra will get him booted out of the company and make sure he never holds a prestigious position again. She didn't get this far by letting people walk all over her, and she isn't starting now. Sally tells Audra she's not interested in getting revenge on Adam and Chelsea, but she thanks her for having her back. Instead, she'll focus on positive things like work. There's also someone else who is giving her support. Billy Abbott and I have found a friendship. Audra muses, "Woo, do I hear a little revenge sex in the making?" Sally insists that's not happening, now or ever. At Abbott Chancellor, Victoria reminds Billy how far her father will go to get what he wants. Billy asks if he knows she's there proposing this so-called solution. She says he doesn't. Billy says it's a huge risk for her. Victoria says there are more important things, like their kids. Billy asks why Victor is coming after his company and why he hates him so much. Why now? Victoria wishes she could give him an answer. Billy thinks she knows and urges her to tell him what's really going on. Victoria tells him she believes that this is a battle he'll very likely lose. Billy tells her she's dead wrong. Victoria pleads with Billy to listen to her about her father. She asks him to promise that he won't put his kids in the middle. Billy tells her this is a conversation she should be having with her father. It may be too late because he's coming after a company that could well be theirs in the future. Victoria realizes he won't accept the compromise and walks out. Phyllis reappears and asks Billy if he's oak. Billy says Victoria made him an offer. She offered to buy me out of Abbott Chancellor as a compromise to avoid a fight with Victor. Phyllis asks if he'd consider it for the right price. Billy says no. This is his company and his mother entrusted it to him. He won't be bullied in not walking away. The first thing Victor would do is take the Abbott name off of it. If he leaves, that says he's scared of Victor, and he's not. Billy declares that if Victor wants a war, he'll get one, but he'll regret the day he came after him. Phyllis exclaims, "Yes, that is the Billy I know." She swears she's all in. Next on The Young and the Restless, Sharon is haunted by her dreams. Heather and Daniel plan a fresh start, and Nick takes matters into his own hands. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, September 25, reveal that Sharon will sink further to the sinister side, with Cameron Kirsten whispering in her ear. It looks like Cameron will push Sharon past the point of no return and convince her to poison the whiskey as planned. If Sharon goes through with this, she won't be able to control who actually consumes what's in the bottle. Sharon is counting on Daniel Gromalotti Jr. drinking that whiskey, but what if someone else gulps it down and becomes an inadvertent victim? It was mentioned that Heather Stevens doesn't like whiskey, so she might be safe. Lucy Romalotti, on the other hand, has become quite the drinker lately and could easily steal some whiskey from Daniel's cabinet next. Even Phyllis Summers and Summer Newman could be at risk if they join Daniel for a nightcap back at his place. Whatever the case, Sharon is seemingly on the verge of doing something that could pose a threat to more than just Daniel. This plot may spiral out of control, so stick with us for more predictions on the twists and turns ahead. In the meantime, Nick Newman and Maria Copeland will have a strategy session as they grow increasingly concerned about Sharon. Maria and Nick will put their heads together, so they'll nail down a plan to help Sharon before things get out of hand. Unfortunately, it's already too late considering Sharon is in the middle of a break-in and poison plot. Next on Wednesday's Y&R episode, Phyllis will take matters into her own hands. Will that involve a bold move to assist Billy Abbott, or could this tie in with Sharon's story instead? The show released a pic of Sharon looking panicked while holding an empty whiskey bottle, so she might return to the penthouse with second thoughts at some point this week. Sharon might find the whiskey gone and realize there's no undoing her actions. Does that mean Lucy will guzzle it, or could Phyllis catch her and pour it out before she can? Regardless, Phyllis will take charge of a situation, so we'll bring you updates on any big news and whether it'll be related to Sharon's scheme. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon will have a major spinout no matter how it all goes down, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers spill that fans are going gaga while anticipating the return of Amy Lewis. It's a character from the 80s originally brought to life by Stephanie E. Williams. In an exciting recast, Valerie Pettiford will now portray Amy. However, the CBS soap has been unusually secretive about the details surrounding her comeback. Is Amy harboring a major secret that's about to be revealed? Y&R tease a buried family bombshell. The Young and the Restless fans who have been watching it for decades are literally over the moon. Let's fill you in for those who don't know much about Amy's Y&R history. The character played a key role in Nathan Hastings Sr.'s life. The two shared a romantic relationship. She even taught him how to read and write. Sadly, their relationship eventually hit a roadblock when Amy left town. But what if she left with more than just memories? In addition, word on the street is that Amy might have secretly given birth to Nathan's child off-screen. Now, she might return to Genoa City after ages to drop that bombshell, which will take everyone by surprise. Meanwhile, Nathan died long ago, so who will Amy return to? If she did have Nathan's child, the lady might return to finally reveal the truth to Nate Hastings. Could Nate have a half-brother he never knew existed? This twist could introduce a brand new character to the canvas, leaving endless possibilities ahead. Furthermore, one theory is that this half-brother could become Lily Winter's love interest. It's quite possible because Lily and Nate are cousins on their mother's side. So there would be no family connection to Nate's half-brother. Interestingly, there may already be a clue about this new character. In July, SoapHub reported that Y&R put out a casting call. They were hunting for a tall, handsome black male in his early to mid-40s on a contract basis. Was this casting call for Nate's half-brother? If so, Amy's return could set the stage for a massive family reveal. Moreover, if Nate does indeed have a secret sibling, it could cause a huge upheaval in his life. Amy's return this October will indeed bring in plenty of twists and turns.